All right, so everyone, welcome in Mrs. Kim Porter to the stand. And it was very important to use this picture because Kim wants to make a point about the relationship, the time, and she calls him Sean, the time that I spent with Sean. And she says it was a sinister sort of love. This is why that song comes up. You give me love, you give me love, you give me love, you give me crazy love. She calls it, though, a sinister kind of love. And she almost in a way where she's not saying this, but I'm pulling this energetically, where she was kind of some of Diddy's shenanigans. She was in on it. Not that she was actually in on it, but see, Kim had a very high level of discernment. Kim knew a lot more than what she put on, but Kim also was a woman of secrecy. She knew when to speak and when not to speak. When she spoke up, she could just pick a few words and say it, and those words would kind of not necessarily cut like a knife, like jabbing you, but it would just come through and change the whole energy. It would give you a lot to think about. And she could just say the few words and then just leave the room and leave you with that energy. She just had a way about her. And this is, I'm channeling this from Diddy. She had a way about her. And so this is a song actually that Diddy would often sing to her. And I see him coming in late at night with Hennessy or Ciroc or something like that on his breath, and he would get really up close to her and sing that song. And it's like the smell of like alcohol and like and something else and cheap sex, right? It's just like she could smell other women on him. The smell in the forefront was of course the alcohol, right? But she could just smell. She Kim, that's what I say. Kim had a heavy like discernment. And I would almost say she had some sort of like huge intuition. And she had the ability for clear smelling, right? Of like, clear seeing, things of that nature. So she brings she brings that point, or rather he brings that point for her, right? And so it was a sinister kind of love because she knew the voodoo that he did so well. Hell, it's a spell, makes you want to shoot. You know what I mean? She knew. And I believe that he knew that she knew, but because she never said that she knew to the extent of it, he was allowed to carry on. It was an unspoken thing in their relationship. And this is why, and Diddy also too is coming back heavily in the energy field. So we got to be careful because he likes to manipulate, but I'm going to let this go ahead and slide. So it was an unspoken thing that he knew that he could keep coming back to her because she was a safe haven, because she would keep his dirt hidden. Do you see what I mean? And it was a level of trust in a way that he had, because she had a lot of loyalty for him and for what they were building. So I will go ahead and let Diddy say that. But Diddy, truly, I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear directly from you, Kim. Let's go back to how you were telling me a few things a bit earlier. I want to give the court a little bit more adjectives except for the sinister love. What else do you want to present to the courts today? I knew it was my time. Mm-hmm. And what else would you like to say? She kind of makes a point to say that she was cutting cords, like cutting spiritual ties with him. So there's one thing to, hang your phone up or block someone. but you're still energetically connected to them. You're in their energy field. You're thinking about them. Your energy is flowing over to that person, thinking about, you know, what they're doing. No, she was cutting cords. She was making peace with them just only sharing children. And she was, in fact, positioning herself where she would have, you know, him out of her energy field. And this gave her the true freedom to truly be loved by another man, and to, you know, and to give that love. That love that she gave to Diddy, she wasn't able to give that same kind of love to another man, because it was a sinister love. It was like mafia kind of love, where like she hid his secrets well. And so she was cutting cords energetically. And so Diddy knew that. And see, makes him worried, because if someone can block you easy, but still be in your energy field. But when someone starts going through and cutting up those cords, cutting up and severing the soul contract and the soul tie, then that becomes dangerous, because he knows that she knew all of the dirt that he was doing. But because of this sinister love, where they were kind of like this low-key Bonnie and Clyde energy, even though like she wasn't necessarily doing it, but she did not, because she was smart. Like, this woman had an open third eye. She knew what was going on, but she was so calm and collected, right? She played chess very well, where she never said anything. But see, this is what made Diddy afraid, when she started cutting those cords and he felt her energetically pull away. This is what made him very, very worried. She also brings a point where there's a life that you aspire to, and a life that is the present day. But because you're so focused on the life that you aspire to, you don't realize that you're living in, and she says, shit. This is what she says. You don't realize that you are living in ish, you know, if you know what I mean. So it's like a false sense of, like, as she shows me that there's like a crown at the top, like a crown for like a king or a queen. And then there's signatures underneath. Like, there is like this kind of marriage, but it's royalty, right? And then there is a whole network that this kingdom operates. So this is what she hoped to have, or even maybe thought that she was having. But then she shows me underneath all of that, it's like a sad puppy, just like that, and then kind of just on the knees. So the life that she envisioned, or even the life that she thought she had it. She thought she had something. This is what is truly coming through. She looked up, what, 9 years later, and realized that she was living in a big pile of ish. And Kim, I can't use that word. It's YouTube. She uses a very harsh word. It's like you've gotten taken advantage of. You know what I mean? That word when you get forcefully taken advantage of, the great. This is how she felt when she came to realize that it was all just a facade. It was all just dangling the carrot, but not actually being able to bite it, right? And you might bite it, but you can't digest it. It doesn't go down. It doesn't, so it does not provide sustenance. You can eat it, but it's just coming out the other end, and it's not doing anything for you. See, she didn't know that. She didn't know that, and she gives a strong 9 years that she kind of stayed in this cycle where she truly did not know. She did not know that she was just getting taken advantage of, and the life that she thought that she was in, she was not. She wasn't. She really wasn't. Okay. What else do you want to say? There was a lot going on. Like, there was a lot of people around him, like a lot. Too many mouths, too much activity. It it was hard to keep everything, like, it was just a lot going on. And it was a lot of confusion too. So much confusion. And I'm getting really, guys, I'm getting like really warm. Like, it's interesting. I'm getting so warm, like pass out kind of warm. And I think this is Kim's energy. What do you want to say, Kim, about the heat, about this feeling? What do you want to say about it? What do you want to say about it? Can't go on thinking nothing's wrong, but now who's gonna drive you home tonight? She give me love, crazy love. This is a very, to be honest, a very sad relationship. This is struggle love. This is high caliber struggle love. Remember when we held on to the rain? Night we almost lost it once again. This is a very sad relationship. So Kim brings this song to the courts. Didn't we almost have it all? By Whitney Houston. And I have a little bit of the lyrics here, which Kim, I want to read. And to be honest with you guys, this is a very sad relationship. So as of Kim shows herself as everything that she thought she was getting, but then what she actually got was just this being this really sad puppy dog that was pretty much on its knees and almost defeated, angry, and sad all at the same time. And so here's the lyrics to the Whitney Houston song. Remember when we held on in the rain, the night we almost lost it. Once again, we can take the night into tomorrow, living on feelings. Touching you, I feel it all again. Didn't we almost have it all? When love was all we had worth giving. The ride with you was worth the fall, my friend. Loving you makes life worth living. Wow. The way you used to touch me felt so fine. We kept our hearts together down the line. A moment in the soul can last forever. Comfort and keep us. Help me bring the feeling back again. Didn't we almost have it all? When love was all we had worth giving. The ride with you was worth a fall, my friend. Loving you made life worth living. Didn't we almost have it all? The night we held on till the morning. You know you'll never love that way again. Didn't we almost have it all? Didn't we have the best of times when love was young and new? Couldn't we reach inside and find the world of me and you? We'll never lose it again. 'Cause once you know what love is, you'll never let it in. Didn't we almost have it all? Wow. Kim, this is very beautiful, but it also just shows the passion that you guys had. And to be honest with you, it's like, I think that people wondered, like, why did they keep going back to each other? This is multi-layered. It's like she brings my attention to, you're always trying to get that old feeling back, the feeling that you may have had like the first year, the first 2 years, but then you spend like triple the time trying to get back just 2 years, and then you end up wasting like 7. This is like, but because that time was so good, like it was so sweet, it was so, it was a moment of purity, even though there was a lot of, like she says, like sinful love, but there were bits and pieces where she saw the true soul, and he of course saw hers, and that true connection that they made in the soul was real, and he never had that with anyone else. So it's like when he can sober up, he can feel that again with her, with only her. And he made it a point to, I think early on, he bared his soul, and that's not easy for him to do. And he got scared because Kim is very naturally gifted in the spiritual arts. Not trying to be, I think she comes from a line of honest, like high priestess, and I'm even seeing like voodoo priest. And yes, okay, confirmation. I think she comes from that line, so it's in her bloodline. And so when he bared his soul, just, pillow talk, and she just like says something that just cut through all of the BS, because it was like something that only he would know. It was like on a psychic vibe, that like connection to the soul, where he was like, dang, this woman knows my soul. I don't think he realized at the time, oh, Kim is like kind of psychic, but it was just like, dang, like she sees me. That's how he truly felt. And so that stamp right there, that's someone he had already said, that's loyalty. That's home. That's home. I may go out and play around, but this is the one I'm going to come back to. And Diddy couldn't articulate that they had a spiritual connection. He couldn't articulate that, but he felt it, right? So this is why they were together for all that time, and why they would come back together and have children, because it was ordained for them to do that. It was purposeful, but also too, no one ever got through the different layers of trauma, as Kim naturally had a way of her energy just cutting through all of that. So that's truly what she wanted to say right now. And let's see what else Kim would like to bring to the courts. Lots of fighting with women, lots of fighting. She was like, I was moving them out. Like, like, like women after women, I was getting them out. Like she would come in his dressing room, like after shows and things. It'd just be like tons of women. Kim would just be like, bye, 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 like literally get them on the shoulder. Like, it's like the way she would come through. She was so like self-assured, right? But she would come through. It was almost like a comedy where like she knew they would be there. It's almost like maybe they were expecting her, and she just like pat him on the shoulder. Okay, bye. You know, it's time to go, right? Bye. I mean, and she shows me like 8, 9, 10, like a lot of people. And this was her life. And she's just like, I was getting them out. Like this was her life, and she was used to doing that. And this was normal. So that's also part of like what she actually got, which was ish, but she didn't realize it because she was too busy like with the crown on in her mind, right? And so just so much problem with women, like just too many women around. too many women, too much stress from the too many women. Okay. What else do you want to say to the courts today, Kim? She's bringing up another song. Guys, hold on one second. She brings up this song, I will do anything for love, but I won't do that, right? So there was something that he wanted her to do. And I think that this is what tarnished the gold plated eyes that I had. It was all of these tiny, she's saying micro terms, things that she had to stick to. Felt like very contractual, these micro terms. It's not that it was like so big, but it was a lot of small little things that were micro terms. And I mean, this could be something as simple as wearing a certain color to bed, you know, or even wearing a certain fragrance, or even like being seen but not heard, like just tiny things. It just felt like the protocol, right? But when you add it up together, it's like, hey, no, I ain't doing all that. You know what I mean? It's kind of that sort of thing. But then she also knows that she will never ever be like this with anyone else, because she would not have access to a man that of this caliber. Yes, another celebrity, absolutely, but of this caliber, no. And I think she was quite aware of that, like status in the hip hop world, right? So there was these little micro things that became a big deal for her. Kim, did he ever want you to engage in, you know, different sexual acts that, you know, that we see playing out in the trial? Did he ever want you to engage in those things? She keeps saying that it's the sugar on the cake. Like it's the sugar on the cake. Did you engage in these acts with P. Diddy? She's saying yes, but not the super disgusting ones that we see going on today. Like he would never even ask me to do that. He may joke around with some things, but it was never like, he already knew I wasn't doing that. So it never even, the conversation really never ever got off to the ground. I mean, like threesome stuff like that, yeah, because in some way you know, I was interested in that as well. But he, you know, am I hearing that he wanted to keep me tucked away as well, like at an arm's reach, like when he wanted to reach me, but not necessarily all the time when I wanted to reach him. And so he just wouldn't ask me to do that level of things. But the things that I felt comfortable with, because it was, you know, actually part of me as well, then yeah, we did engage in that, but I didn't see it as anything harmful to anyone else. Okay, thank you. What do you think about the trial, Kim? This is interesting. I- She feels, it's very interesting. She feels for her children, especially Christian. The trial is unfair because it's unfair for her children, because they're being dragged into this in a way. And so she feels like he's being hung out to dry by himself. She also feels that he's not on trial for the right, like the glove doesn't fit. Like it's like in the OJ, what they're trying to make all of this fit, when actually there is a whole nother separate things that the glove actually fits like perfectly. You know what I mean? So this part of it is actually having him being hung out to dry, but she really emphasizes because her children are involved, in particularly like Christian. Christian comes, and this is what she doesn't like about the trial, because it's not organized, is what she's saying, and it's not justified. There are many other things that are justified, but those things we have not yet really seen yet. We haven't really seen all of that yet. Okay, thank you. It's just interesting. Kim is just like, it's like she's getting tired. It's just weird. Like she's getting tired, and she like kind of taps her hands and just like she's waiting, waiting, waiting. Like, what are you waiting for, Kim? What are you waiting for? So I'm still waiting for truth. Like, I'm still waiting for the real show to begin. I'm still waiting. This is like, it's almost laughable to her that some of the things that have come out, especially like his genitals and about the size and things like that. She finds that really heartbreaking. And not just because of her children, but this is actually a man that she actually truly loved, and a man that she had multiple children with. She finds that heartbreaking for her children, especially her girls too. And she just feels like it's doing more embarrassment to her and to her children than it is to P. Diddy, because of his ego, and because he has money, and because of who he is, who he was, and who he still is in some regards, that he'll be okay, but her children is being tarnished. She doesn't like it at all. She hates it. And she feels somewhat responsible too, because she's saying that if she would have woken up while she was still, living, she could have pulled like away faster. And she could have positioned her children and gotten them safe. And what she means by that is she would have positioned them and to focus on other scholarly things, not to be wrapped up in wanting to live the lifestyle of a hip hop mogul or children of a mogul. She would have positioned them, and I'm seeing like the Swiss Alps. Like they would have had a whole nother just different life, and they would be able to have friends and to have real community and real people around them. And she blames herself for that, because if she would have woken up faster, she's saying that her children would have been positioned in a better position. And so now when this was happening, it wouldn't truly affect them, because they would have already been living a life that is set apart from all of this. So she does think that she could have done a better job, but at the time she couldn't see anything bigger than just this. And in a way, she's it's like the little bit of a Bonnie and Clyde energy, which is, I think, also too why Beyonce and Jay-Z were also coming out as well. Um, it's almost like she was in on it, because, like she said, she didn't say what she knew. He knew that she knew, but he knew that she wasn't saying, and that's also too another thing he liked about her. But in hindsight now, it was not a good thing. There's a lot of confusion, to be honest with you here. Um, I know Kim has a lot more to say, but there's Diddy in the energy field, and somewhat still Beyonce and Jay-Z, and it's interesting. And as if they like, I don't even know why people try. That I know. They're trying to like basically influence her energy on what she can say. So they're trying to like drown her out just by showing up here today to spiritual court. They want to drown her voice out. So what I'm going to do, Kim, is we're going to go ahead and take a recess, and we're going to clear the energy field. And when we pick up this in the next session, I'll make sure that everything is clear. And so we can go a little bit deeper into how you felt about your passing, and about Diddy's involvement or non-involvement. we'll get into all of those things, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and let you off of the stand for now, okay? All right, guys. So there was a lot of energy disturbances today in the courtroom. And, to be honest with you, if Beyonce, Jay-Z, and P. Diddy or P. Diddy's half-baked clone, if they don't, if they keep showing up with these shenanigans, they will get blocked from the energy field and blocked from the courthouse. And so we won't be hearing anything from them energetically speaking, right? And so we're going to pick back up with Kim in another session so we can clear the energy field and make it really safe for her to go ahead and speak to us here at Karmic Justice TV. Have a beautiful day. Bye.